Hey guys, it's Alexandra from On Rockwood Lane. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the letter Q with perler beads. This letter measures about 2.5 inches wide by 3 5/8 inches tall. I'm using a square grid for mine, the kind that has the puzzle pieces on the side so you can interlock them together. And this one measures 5 3/4 inches wide. You'll also need some tweezers, and I'm using a brown color bead for this. You're going to need 149 beads in total. You'll also need some parchment paper and an iron so you can fuse your beads together. If you'd like to follow along, I have a chart for this that I'll link in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get started. So the letter Q is made the same as the letter O, with just that little part there on the bottom right. So we're going to start out the exact same way. I'm going to start by working 13 vertical beads. On the top, I'm going to work diagonally up to the right, and on the bottom, I'm going to work diagonally down to the right so that each has 4 beads. I'm going to work over to the right to have 6 beads in total on the top and also on the bottom. Here on the top, I'm going to work down at a diagonal to the right to have 4 beads in total. From the bottom, we're going to work up at a diagonal to the right to have 3 beads in total. Then I'm going to work 1 to the right of that, and 2 underneath that, then I'll work 1 to the right of that, and I'm going to place 3 above that so there are 4 beads vertically. Then I'll place 1 to the left of that. And then we're just going to fill in vertically there to bridge those 2 together. Now it's time for the center cutout. I'm going to work from the top part on each of those sides. Before it becomes a diagonal, I'm going to work down to have 5 beads each, and I'm going to do the same thing down here on the bottom. On each side, before it becomes a diagonal, I'm going to work up so that there are 5 beads each. Here on the top, I'm going to work up to the left and place a bead. I'll do the same thing on this top left side, up to the right and place a bead. I'm going down to the bottom from this right side. I'm going to work down to the left and place a bead. And the same from the left side down to the right and place a bead. And now I'm going to fill in between those. Then I'll come to this top left side, and from this last bead I'm going to place one to the bottom left. And from the right side I'm going to place one to the bottom right. From the bottom right I'm going to place one up to the right. And from the bottom left I'm going to place one up to the left. Then fill in vertically in between each of those sides. And now the outline is ready for the letter Q. Next step is going to be to just fill in all around that center cutout. And now the letter Q is set. Next step is going to be to grab some parchment paper and iron it. I'm going to be showing you that with my letter E. Alright, so when I do the ironing, I like to do it on my washing machine. I have this mat that I put down when I iron. It has magnets there so it sticks. I know it's not going to fall off. And it's a good surface to iron on. I have the plastic grid here with my letter and some parchment paper. The side that's the most waxy, I'm going to put it face down on top of my letter. And you can reuse the same piece of parchment paper over and over again, so it's not a big investment there. My iron has 1 through 6 on it, depending on the type of fabric that you're ironing. The instructions for perler beads say medium heat. I did try it at medium level and it was taking way too long to fuse my beads, and then they were fusing unevenly, so I actually just put it up at the max level, which is 6, and it works within the time that it's supposed to. It's about 15 to 20 seconds. So I have the parchment paper there, and I'm just going to place my iron on and work in a circular motion. Make sure that as you're working you get the corners and the edges, because those sometimes take a little bit longer to fuse together. And then you'll be able to check it by just moving your parchment paper. It should peel right up. If you have any beads that are sticking to your parchment paper, carefully put it back down and iron over that section again. Once you've peeled back your paper and you're satisfied with the fusing here, then you'll want to flip it over. Be careful when grabbing the letter because it's going to be very warm, so either let it sit for a moment so it can cool off and then you can pick it up, or I just take my grid and flip it over. And then you can put the grid on the side and you're going to fuse the back the same exact way that you did the front. So you'll just take your parchment paper, place it over it, and iron in that circular motion again. This is super important to have a surface that is okay to be ironed on. In about 15 to 20 seconds of ironing, you'll be able to go ahead and peel up your paper and the back side will be fused together as well. Be careful when touching it because it's still going to be warm or hot. So you might want to just let it cool for a moment before you flip it back over and move it to wherever you're going to let it cool. And if there's any spots that you're not happy with the way they look or you want them to be a little bit more fused together, then just place your parchment paper back on top and iron it a little bit more in that section. Just be careful because the longer that you iron it, the smaller the holes are going to close up. It doesn't take very long for it to cool down, and then as it cools, it becomes more sturdy. So you can actually use it in projects or string it up if you want to use it as an ornament or maybe a name tag for a gift. Guys, thanks so much for watching my video. You'll find the chart for this link down in the description box below. Please smash that like button and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.